What's happening? Andy here. I'm joined today by Frank Gaspari of Flex Technology Group out of Arizona. How are you, Frank?
Really good, Andy. How are you, brother?
I am awesome. Great to see you. How's Arizona today?
It's a little cloudy. But today's what, December 20th? It's gonna be in the mid 60s. I'm a Chicago guy and I moved here because of the weather back in I think 2000 actually. So it's I wore a coat to work today and it's 62 degrees. I wore like a long jacket, but it's nice to be here. It's good weather, man.
Well, 60 degrees. I pretty much have your Chicago weather here in Rochester. I got 31 cloudy, snow. It's nasty. It's winter. So it's Christmas, right? Happy Hanukkah. We got Hanukkah today. We got Christmas
Yeah.
coming up this weekend. So good holiday week to chat. I wanted to have you on the show and learn a little bit about Flex Technology Group. So I think why don't we step back a little bit and give us your history. Where did you come from? Where did Frank start?
Frank started in the streets of Chicago. And I say that with a lot of gratitude. I come from a big family, and I've been in this space, my whole life. This is the only thing I've done. I started 37 years ago selling Konica. Actually, it was Royal Copiers door to door on South Michigan Avenue. And I did that for 4 years. And then at 25, I started a company called Column with a great partner, Tim Yario, in Chicago. And then scaled a couple businesses. So 32 years ago, started my first business with Tim. Fortunate enough to sell that to Global 10 years later, and then started a managed print company, really before anybody was doing managed print. And Global bought that too. When did they buy it? End of 2004. So I'm a Chicago guy. Built the businesses in Chicago, sold them both to Global over a 6-year period. Had a front row seat to what Tom was doing there. I think we joined them when they were 400 million. So learned a ton. I was fortunate to sell those businesses when I was a young dude. And I'm all about like, what are we going to do now? How can I learn? How can I get better? And I was surrounded by just great, men and women that I learned a ton from, and moved to Arizona. And I had copier business is a great business. Love the business. It's hard to build reoccurring revenue quickly, profitably. And I saw an opportunity to make a big investment in managed print at the end of 2005 when I left Global to really build out a national business. I saw, in the copier business, very, 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 very audited business. Customers know what they're spending per click. And back in 2005, corporate America was way, way underserved. These big customers, blue chip customers in every industry, were spending a ton of money on printers and the cost associated with that. And as you know, I found out today you're almost the same age as me. I thought you were a lot younger, baby. You like baby face. You could be a mafia guy, baby face Andy.
Babyface Slawetsky. That's what they called me when I sold copiers. That was actually my nickname. That's funny.
Yeah, but back, hey, when you and I worked before there was email, when email came, all of a sudden these printers popped all over the place. They were acquired ad hoc, and boom, a major unaudited expense. And I saw an opportunity to build out, a real national platform for managed print. And left Global at the end of 2005, started this a month later here in Arizona with no employees, hired some great, great people. And we started this initiative. I say there's two, when you look at the Flex Technology Group, it's a tale of two stories, right? Flex Print, which is the platform company for Flex Technology Group, we started in October of 2005 with no customers. And over 9 years, we brought on whatever it was, 450 customers, enterprise customers all over the country, built out this national service platform. And in 9 years, we built out a $50 million business. I don't say that to impress you, but just to impress upon you the fact that 450 customers generating $50 million in business, right?
Yeah, in 9 years. You got
In
you
nine
got
years.
companies
So,
out there that are 100 years old that
well,
bless them, but they're not anywhere near that.
but I think it speaks to not so much our business, but the opportunity in enterprise managed print. So, hey, I saw at that time, hey, an opportunity I've always been, serial entrepreneur with my own money, and I brought in private equity at the end of 2015. to build this out, right? To do something I didn't have the, sort of the DNA to do. So I brought someone in who had the powerhouse to do that. And then we started Flex Technology Group, Flex Print being the platform company. Certainly the MFP business, the copier business is in my DNA. So I knew a lot of, a lot of businesses that we could potentially acquire. And then, since 2016, I say it's almost a new venture for us, because then in 2016, we went out as the Flex Technology Group, right? FlexPrint as the platform company. And we brought on just really, really great companies. When I say great companies, I say that with, a lot of, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but just gratitude, because we are who we are because we brought in great companies. And, we're a little shy of $400 million today. And with a couple more deals that are in diligence now, that by Q1 next year will be over 400 million. But
Wow.
just great businesses across the country. So that was my throw up on you, Mr. Andy.
Well, you guys are top five. You have, I'm looking at your list right now. I remember, I ran almost all of these, probably all of these, but it's a who's list. And what I love is when you acquire these companies, there's two ways companies will do it. And sometimes they kill the name and they put their name on the door. And you took the approach where you kept the local logo, you kept a local name like Caltronic, Shamrock, SOS. I'm looking at them right now, Century. Just really well-known names in their local markets, right? But on the bottom, a Flex Technology company. So there's what, 18 of these companies now?
Yes, sir. 18 today.
So 18, and you're in. Are you in every state with that management program? Is that every state that I see?
Yeah, so we were in every state before. I mean, when I said we started here, when we go after, even today we have 3 national teams, right? I mean, one for Flex, one for Flowtech, and then one combined. That doesn't matter where they're housed, they'll just go after enterprise accounts in every vertical. So back in even 2015, we had customers in every state of the country, right? Today we have over 300,000 devices that we support. We're manufacturer agnostic, certainly, like all the big players. But we support those customers in every state, 24/7, 365. And yeah, our model is, hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with one brand. I think Marco's done a great job and Dex has done a great job. And certainly there's companies that's great homes for them. And, ours is different. I mean, probably, I grew up after selling 2 businesses at Global. I saw it worked. I mean, these companies that they're successful in California or in New Jersey or in Idaho because of who they are in that marketplace, right? And my belief is that they don't really care about, how many hundreds of million you are. Can you take care of my problems here in this market? So, you buy good companies, provide them with more resources. They're backed by a bigger company, give them more resources and, best practices, but let them, stay out of the way to a certain degree. They know how to service their customers. And it's worked well for us. And I think that, hey, during the pandemic, a lot of things happened, but we came together, and these men and women and people in all these different markets took care of their customers and took care of their employees, and drove unbelievable results during really difficult times. We were way too big to get that free money from the government. I'm glad we didn't, because I think it made some people lazy, but it didn't make us lazy, because we probably wouldn't have took it if we could have got it. But.
Yeah, well, I mean, making it to the point where we are today, and then certainly, you picked up some more companies over the last year or two. The growth has been there, and you look at where you're doing it. It's managed print, and the other interesting thing to me is it's enterprise, right? So you see the typical dealer in our world tends to go to SMB. It's just where a lot of them fit. They're set up well for that. But your focus is in a completely different place, and you must have really run into a lot more OEM sales than dealers, I would imagine, when you guys were going up against competition. Is that true or no?
Well, it's still the same today. If you think, as I said, 60% of the business we have today is 100% pure managed print and enterprise accounts. And hey, listen, there's a lot of great things about SMB business, and we get a lot of our business from that. A lot of our companies, we offer the management platform as a menu of offerings that we can roll out to the traditional copier companies. And we've had some companies, especially on the West Coast, that were traditional copier companies that have taken our proven model and infrastructure and tools and rolled it out and are now selling managed print. But today, if we compete for an enterprise account in whether it's retail or legal or distribution or whatever, we're competing with either the status quo, right? Which is sometimes more difficult, but in 2005, it was all the status quo where corporate America had this major expense in a junk drawer, right? And they didn't even know about it. Or we're competing with the OEMs, and hey, the OEMs are our partners. I mean, we have great relationships with all the OEMs. We love representing their products, but we compete with their sales teams in the enterprise accounts, and we could do a much better job just because we're infinitely more focused on the managed part of managed print. I mean, our money for R&D goes into R&D for tools, not for technologies like the OEM, and so we compete against them. With a customer who's a highly educated consumer, they'll realize that, hey, we certainly need the OEM to fulfill the technology piece, but to give them a real managed program with constant visibility, cost avoidance and making the right decisions, and all the things you need to do as part of, whether it's a managed program in managed print or IT or whatever it is, we've been very successful competing against them. And it's a fine line because they're partners of ours too.
Yeah, they are. They're providing you with the equipment, they're providing you in many cases with the software and workflow, but then on the other side of it, they've got reps walking in, also trying to compete as well. So let's just take a quick step back. Tell me about the managed print. What makes you guys so good at it? What is it about you? I mean, virtually every one of your competitors, every copier, dealer, printer, office technology reseller out there pretty much offers a managed print services program. A lot of them aren't doing 50 million in a year like you guys were able to, or in a very short period to get yourselves to, almost 400 million now. What is it about your program? What do you guys do differently, and why are you so successful at it?
Well, I'd say that, first of all, that, our company was founded on that, absolutely founded on that, and built an infrastructure with like nothing here to support a customer across the country. So we've constantly been focused on that. And it's one thing to be a pioneer, but it's another thing to continue to reinvent yourself, right? To continue to reinvent yourself. Hey, I think we have a reputation as, hey, Flex is, when it comes to managed print, Flex is, they're at the top. But to me, managed print is all about, it's a highly consultative approach, right? You have to be ready to engage with the customer and sell them technology like never. Try a copier company, try them to do that. And then it's all about customization, real customization, and not taking off the shelf stuff, junk, and then jamming it in their thing. You've got to customize technology to make it easier for them to interface with your systems. To me, managed prints, it's not keeping their printers and assets up and running. It's all of those things. And you could say that, I say that with enthusiasm, because we started in 2005, and I invested a lot of my money into R&D to develop these tools. Whether back then it was, direct billing code or GL codes or whatever. Today it's, client portals that are highly customized. So I would say that our commitment to continue to invest in that, in a client relation team, right? A real kind, and it starts with the sales rep. That the sales rep recognize that this is a best case 90 to 360. 3 months to 360 sale, 360 month sales cycle, 3-year sales cycle, and realizing that that we're not going to sell them any technology until it's like the right time to do it. There's enough pain, there's enough mess, there's enough waste inside the customer's environment to go in there and partner with them, right, and give them a managed program and visibility to all this stuff, versus, hey, I'm not saying all of our competitors, some of our competitors want to get in there, get them on a program and like put new stuff in there, and they're going to be better, faster, cheaper. So I think that that philosophy around truly highly consultative, never-ending consultation with them. And I don't know. Maybe that answers your question. Maybe it
does. And it does. So that's fueled your growth over the years, right? And it's put you in the position that you're in now, which is continued growth, and now you're in an acquisition phase, right? So you're growing through the managed print, you're growing through sales and organic growth, but you're also growing through acquisitions. And tell me about what you're looking for in companies going forward. What kind of companies do you think are good fits for Flex Technology Group?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. I think at the core, we look at the same things the other big consolidators would look at. You want to look at someone that, first of all, I don't care what location. They can be in Idaho. I really don't care.
Even
Doesn't
Idaho.
matter. Well, I mean, you look at the pandemic. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the pandemic. Some of the smallest markets did the best,
Yep. Yep.
right? I mean, they did. They did the absolute best versus these big markets. So I don't care where they're located at. I'm looking at a company now that I absolutely love that's in a different market, but
It's just a small market. That's all.
yeah, whatever. But what I would say is, hey, you look for, we don't buy fixer uppers, good run companies, right? Good run companies. Certainly, it's great if the entrepreneur is going to stay on for a long period of time and really, it wants to stay. If
Well,
not,
that's a big part. That's a differentiator for you, right? Is that you're looking to have that entrepreneur, that dealer owner, principal, senior management stay on. Whereas in some cases, I think, some of your competitors would just like to buy the MIF, buy the the facilities and the team, and have management maybe kind of fade out and let us handle it from here.
yeah, exactly. And certainly, but we don't want to force it. If the entrepreneur is ready to cash out and go, then let them go. And we've had multiple situations where that's been the case, but they've had a real strong management team, right? And then we've had some guys that have been there for 30 years I can think of those guys today that are working like they were working 20 years ago, that are passionate about the business. And, but everyone's, really got to, if you're going to join our platform, you've got to be ready to like reinvent yourself. You got to be ready to, hey, listen, it doesn't matter what they're saying in the industry. It doesn't matter what they're saying on CNN. We don't listen to that. We're going to grow organically, period. End of conversation.
Yeah.
We're going to grow, because forget about what they're saying about prints and this. There's trillions of prints being made. I don't know what percentage of market share we have, 3%. Like we could quadruple in size, and the industry is still going to be doing fine. So, so people that want to learn and grow, and I think that we don't mandate to everyone that you've got to go out and sell managed print at all. So, hey, here's an item you can choose from Flex. One of them is managed print, and the companies that have invested in it, and brought it on have grown. So I think good businesses that want to continue to be part of a flat platform that's results oriented. They maintain their culture, but Flex Technology is a subculture, and we love the business. We love the business, and it's like I said, it's like, hey, we very deliberately never diversified. There's a lot of companies in our space that have been real successful getting into IT. I mean, no question, but we believe there's wild organic growth opportunities in the stuff I just talked about.
And you clearly are showing it. I mean, look at your numbers. Your numbers put you at, I'm estimating at number 4 in our market, and probably top 5 in the entire world, right? So, and you're moving up. You're passed some companies in the last year or two. So you guys the trajectory is in the right direction. And going forward, what do you think? 23, I know you mentioned you got a couple in the hopper right now that are hopefully you'll close in the first quarter. But beyond that, are you going to keep acquiring with these interest rates? You're going to keep looking at opportunities, or are you guys going to maybe pump the brakes a little in 23?
Yeah. So what I would also say is, hey, our goal is not. I mean, our goal is not to say, hey, we want to be the top. It's flattering and it's humbling, from a kid who started selling copiers 37.
Kid from Chicago.
No, I mean, really, it's humbling. But hey, I am where I am because I'm blessed to have great people around me, just great, loyal people, every stage, every company. So I think, we're fortunate that we have a bank facility that has a lot of dry powder in it. And that means that we can go acquire companies. We're lowly leveraged. We don't have a lot of debt compared to our EBITDA. So, we have businesses under LOI today that I think we will close in Q1. And we'll continue to do acquisitions, but I feel even more excited and even more bullish in our ability to grow organically double digits equipment and aftermarket in a significant way. 2021 was our best year ever, Andy. And I didn't do any of this, by the way. When I say me, it's like everyone in the field is doing this, so I'm not doing anything. But 21 was our best year ever for bringing on enterprise accounts across the whole platform. That includes in 2022, we've doubled it. I mean, you think about it. Think about what people say about no one's working in the office, print. In a fact, if you come to our kickoff meeting, February 7th in Southern California, you better be there, man.
I'll be there.
Come on. But if you're there, you'll see the logos of these companies that our people have brought in. It's double 2021. 2021 was our best year. So I look at it and say, hey, we're going to continue to do great acquisitions and hopefully bring on more great companies like we did this year. In SOS out of Atlanta, great company in San Diego, CopyLink. But we're going to grow organically, and we're going to create wild opportunities for our people here. And it's exciting, man. And whatever. I don't know if this is going to air, but if it does, we have great people, man.
You do. The ones I know are awesome.
Yeah,
we all love Mike McGurk, right? I mean,
Mike, yeah, he's the best. I want Mike McGurk's job because I don't. He's on like the tour.
Yeah, he is. He's the best. Everyone loves him, and he's I mean he's kind of retired, but I see him at every BTA event I go to, and always with a big smile. Always get a nice hug from him, and he's just a great guy. But that's typical of a lot of the people from Flex that I've met over the years. So it's just a great company. But I greatly appreciate you coming on and taking some time. Am I going to see you in a few weeks at the ECS conference? Did you say you are going to that?
Well, it's right here, so it would be an insult if I didn't go.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with Germalio, another kid from Chicago.
Yeah, he's got those squeeze. He's got, he give me like a punch or something. But I'm definitely going to go. I'm not a sit in a type of meeting all guy type of guy. But I'll definitely be there for the kickoff and then some cocktails. So I'll see you there.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having us on. I love what you do for our space and your enthusiasm. And I'll see you there. Hopefully, we'll see you at our kickoff meeting.
Yeah, I will be there. This was great. Thanks so much for talking, Frank, and we'll catch up real soon.
All right, brother. Happy holidays.
Thanks, you too.